Hi, welcome to Trains I Trains, my channel for model trains and all about trains in general. And in I have a collection of 150 plus trains and matching locos, matching freight trains, matching coaches in HO scale, and I'll be showcasing them as I transition from basic track to a full-fledged DCC layout. So here you see I have a yellow and green loco from Roco. I've got some of them which I'll be giving away as prizes for all those who answer my questions as I ask them in some of my videos as we go along in this journey. My trains are from Kato, Pico, and Roco, and all of them are two rail DCC operation compatible. And I have got a plethora of high speed trains, some of the ones which you will see very rarely, like the JR 500 in HO scale, which is a collector item nowadays. And I have a series of Pico trains, PIKO, and Roco trains, which I'll showcase as we go along. So most of my collection has been amassed over the last 25 years, and you can see that there is a lot of effort which goes into the collection planning, what you need to buy and how you need to manage and all that. So to start with, the first thing which I'll discuss is dust on trains and what is this brown wagon all about. If you see the difference between the brown and the yellow wagon, there is on the brown wagon there is a abrasive part on the underside of the wagon which is used to clean the tracks. See the difference between the yellow wagon and the brown wagon. There is no eraser kind of setup for the yellow one. Now the moment we place the brown wagon on the track, the spring loaded abrasive cleans the track as it runs along. Clean tracks are a must for smooth operation of electrical pickup by the locomotives in the train. The locomotives have got multiple pickup points, and for proper operation it requires smooth transfer of electrical energy between the two. So you see the abrasive eraser is touching the tracks, and it will keep on removing the dirt from the tracks as we go along. So make the brown wagon a part of your regular freight trains, or a part run it separately along with one locomotive which will go on cleaning the tracks. It's a kind of a shunting thing. Sometimes locomotives take one wagon at a time across two places. In the alternative, you should have this handheld eraser which I bought from Pico. So this handheld eraser is like your eraser in real life for in notebooks and all. You run the eraser with hand on the tracks and it will clean your tracks, making them transfer energy to locomotives without much ado. One of the reasons for dirt on tracks is plastic wheels. I've got two same type of wagons in which one has plastic wheels, and in one I have removed the plastic wheels and put metal wheels. Metal wheels do not deposit any plastic residue on the track because they don't have plastic in them, and the plastic wheels on the track cause the locomotives to have more friction, and thus the tracks are a bit heated up, and then the plastic will keep on depositing. The next item I'm showing you is a re-railer, which is a good thing to have for serious train modeling. The re-railer helps you put the rolling stock onto the track without much of a struggle. If you see this E5 cap coach and all of E5, the gap for you to manage the putting of the bogie is the wheel set onto the track is very difficult, and this is a ICE3 bogie, ICE3 coach with bogie. The skirting for ICE3 is different from E5 and JR500. So the struggle you have to put the E5 and JR500 on the track without a re-railer is very high as compared to the high ICE3 coach. And here I have put the ICE3 coach on the track, sorry, the JR500 cap coach on the track using a re-railer. And see, I just put it on the re-railer and I just push it and it goes onto the track. So excuse me. So as you see, the JR500 cap coach gets onto the track. This is a Pico track from a starter set, and as I move it, the front bogie is derailing. So there is a problem with the alignment of the bogie with the track. So you have to be very particular about testing all your uh, train sets on the track so that they don't run derail in operation. And here is the E5 cap coach on the curved section, and it goes through smoothly. This is the E5 which is going to come on the first bullet train which will run in India. It's the most efficient in terms of energy requirements per passenger kilometer moved. And here is the ICE3 coach on the curve, and that is also going through smoothly. So the JR500 bullet train is the problem one with the track. I tried putting a banking simulation using a bubble sheet, but it didn't work. Now if you see the tracks, they are there is a difference within the two tracks I'm showing. So the one on the top has a bit more tolerance for the JR500 cap. So you have to standardize your track. Sometimes most of the common tracks are code 79, 83 and code 100. So always remember to pick up one similar type of same type of track for your use as you go along building your model layout. So that is very important. I've tried many permutations and all that. So now I'm able to showing that I'm putting the a single standalone loco using the re-railer onto the track. The locos glides onto the track very smoothly, and you should always make sure that don't try to push your rolling stock on the track because they are geared. They should run on their own power. Here I have put the JR500 on a lifelike track, and it is able to negotiate the curve very smoothly. So it is all a difference between the flange tolerance and the track, flanges tolerance along with the track. So you should be able to identify what kind of track is causing problems and for your rolling stock. So I put one of the caps, it runs properly, and I have put, and I'm able to show you that as I move the cab on the track, it is running okay, not derailing. The JR500 second cab is put here on the track, and that also is able to negotiate the lifelike track very easily, and there is no problem. So you should be able to identify what kind of train sets you are going to use and all that. One of the reasons is Tenshodo made this JR500 and it's a single run. It's not available in the aftermarket on eBay easily. It's sort of become a collector item, and those people who have it are not selling it. So even a simple five coach JR500 model is not available for more than $3,000 US. Now you're seeing the skirting on the ICE3 is different from the E5 and the GR500. This causes air turbulence, and thus ICE3 is not as efficient as E5. That has been resolved to some extent in the ICE4, where the skirtings have been pushed down onto the bogie wheel sets. You can see that there is dirt accumulated on the life tracks over the years. This is the dirt which basically is the problem for train modeling. So even though you remove the dirt using a brush and all that, there is still some inherent dirt in the tracks which you have to remove using only the abrasive cleaner which I have discussed earlier. The dirt on the tracks looks like weathering and it looks like realistic. That is on one side, but the dirt on tracks, the steel part, is going to cause problems for you. So use this wagon to clean out your tracks. The metal on the metal part of the tracks is not uh, highly conductive in electricity, so you should remember that also. The ICE3 coupling is very closely held, and it is of 5 poles. You can see 5 metal pieces on one side and corresponding receptors on the other side, and you have to make sure that you connect them properly, and you should not break the connectors or the alignment. I re-railed the ICE3 coaches using the re-railer, but and thought I'll be able to snap the connectors in, but it's not so. There seems to be some 2 to 3 mm height gap between the two coaches. Though they are precision made, there seems to be some challenge. So the way I manage is that I put them on the floor or next to the tracks like this, and properly align the couplers and connect them, and then set them upright straight. You have to take care that you have to do it slowly and gradually, so that the couplers do not break in any scenario. So then you have to try your luck in terms of connecting putting the wagons on the coaches on the track and aligning the bogies to the track on a hit and trial basis. So if we can put them once and keep them like that, because we have a permanent layout, that will help us manage the pain of putting them on the tracks time and again. Every time removing tracks, setting them up also causes misalignment of the tracks. So try to put them once for all. I'm showing my Z21 base station, and Z21 base station pumps in a lot of electricity power into the track. It can, because it can operate up to 9,000 plus trains at one go using DCC. And see, the line tester shows electricity on the track, which is good enough to cause discomfort when you touch them with bare hands. So keep that in mind. And now I am showing you the old Roku base station which I acquired 15 years back, and the light tester, when connected to the track, does not show any light. You should always connect only one base station to one set of tracks. Don't connect two base stations to one set of tracks. It will damage both the power supplies. Base stations. See, there is no discernible current in the track with the old base station. And now for some test run of Ave ICE3 by RENFE. RENFE runs different high-speed trains, the Talgo, the ICE3 equivalent, then it runs Euromed and Ave, Ave TGV. And so I got Euromed, I got Ave TGV. I'll showcase them, all of them. And the ICE3 is run by Dutch Railways, it is run by RENFE, it is run by Deutsche Bahn. It is also having a Russian version called the Sapsan, and ICE3 also runs in China as CRH, and from that CRH, Chinese morphed it into fuxing, which is even more faster. And ice 3 also comes in Amtrak colors, so I'll see if I can acquire an Amtrak ice 3 version to showcase on my videos. So in this space you are seeing here, I am putting up a permanent layout, and all the tracks which I have I'll slowly connect them to form a single layout with a single motorized turnouts based on Z21. So here is the ice 3 going at full speed with away RENFE, and it has got only 4 coaches. The regular ice 3 is got 8 coaches. I am got Mahano ice 3, which is 8 coaches, which I have to put in some repair because I got it faulty from eBay. And I got two Dioshban ice 3s, both of which are 8 coaches. I'll show them as we go along. I got a ice 3 in ice turbo diesel, which is 4 coach, so that also I'll showcase. I've got 2 sets. I'll showcase them as we go along. And the best part is that with Z21 you can do consisting, which basically helps me run the 2 Roco ice 3 TDs, turbo diesel ones, as one unit as and when required. I'm showing the Märklin ice 3 coach, and it has got a compatible connector with the Pico ice 3 coach. But one should remember that the Märklin is a HOM scale, which is HO Märklin scale. It has got a 3-rail track because it runs in DC. Even though the couplers are compatible, we should first test whether they can cooperate or coexist electrically, which I'm going to test out as we go along, and I'll show the video when I test it out. So do not just go headlong and connect a Märklin to a Pico DCC 2-rail operation train with a 3-rail operation train. Pico also makes 3-rail operation trains, so be careful when you are operating and what you are operating. So this is my ice 3 sharing with you, and now slowly I'm inching the train to the camera view so that I can show you the lights. See the lights, it passed by, and now you can see that the other side of the train has got red lights, marker lights, as it goes along. In DCC we can do very many kinds of simulation, like lights on, off, ditch lights, which is the parking lights. So now you see I'm able to show the lights going on and off, the headlights for the cab coach for ice 3. And now I'll show you the red lights, end of train lights going on and off. This is the old base station's power unit, and this is the new base station power unit. The new one is able to give out 20 volt DC at 2.7 amperes. Yeah, 2.6 amperes, 20 volts, whereas the old one is giving 15 volt at 2.7 amperes. So I think that is where the difference is. Thank you for your time, and have a wonderful time as we go along. Bye. Thanks.